Let's move to the Red Wings. We'll kind of speed up our pace here as, of course, college basketball dominated a lot. As that you can see Evan flexing there. 5 wins in a row. First in the wild card in the East. I think they're officially, what was the numbers?
8 points clear.
They are
the next closest.
In by 8 points. They're 15-4-2 since January 1st. And this is a stat from Jim Costa that I'm reading. 24 games are left. Only 9 of them are against teams currently in the playoffs. So that's pretty good spot.
One of them's on freaking Saturday, this Saturday. 3 o'clock against the Panthers on ABC.
The Panthers. Wow. Evan, we'll start with you. How has this stretch been for you?
I'm just enjoying it because I've been speaking about this past 2 or 3 years of all the Red Wings are close. And now we're finally there where we can compete in the playoffs in this NHL and everybody's going to say the same thing. You never know what can happen in the playoffs. And I think that is true with this team. You never know. You have a superstar that's been there, done that. And you're seeing that he's not really backpacked us, but he's had moments that Red Wing fans will never forget. You'll never forget Patrick Kane scoring. You'll never forget Ken Daniels' call on it. And then you'll never forget the overtime against the Avalanche rivalry game, Larkin to Kane on that one. And you're going to build up this team of when they make the playoffs of remembering games in that situations like that. It's awesome to be a part of. It's another playoff team for Detroit that we get to watch this year. I'm fully confident in the team that we have and the leadership in that we're going to make the playoffs at least.
Got to finish the job.
We do have a rough stretch here with game off day, game off day, game off day, and then a couple of back-to-backs the following week. So it'll be tough, but it's point production. And I think but you have Kane and you have DeBrincat who are leading kind of the charge offensively, and then you have a couple guys that will step up here and there.
Look, I'm all the way in. I did something dirty yesterday. Not crazy, but I did bet Blackhawks money line in the morning because I wasn't fully invested yet on this team. I was, but I saw they had won 4 in a row, a couple overtime squeakers. I was like, they're going to Chicago. It's a back-to-back. Kane's return, Chelios night. This is the game where you drop one to a team that's not good. What did they do? According to Paul Bissonnette, it was one of the best nights of hockey in the history of the sport. And they won. So now I'm fully in. And Alex, you laugh, but I don't want to spend a long time on it, but it needs to be discussed. Stepping back, because I didn't realize the Chelios thing was going on. I thought this game should have been on Prime NBC or Prime ESPN, whoever has those rights, because of the big buildup they did. It's DeBrincat's return to Chicago. It's Kane's return to Chicago. And let me read you. They did the beautiful tribute video for Kane. And then we go into who was at this game. Wayne Gretzky was there, Mark Messier, Steve Yzerman, Dennis Savard, Marian Hossa, Ed Belford, Duncan Keith, Jeremy Roenick, Brent Seabrook, Patrick Sharp, Chris Chelios, and there was a special tribute video from Michael Jordan to Patrick Kane for his return. The stars of the world were out for Chris Chelios and to see Kane, and Cindy Crawford, a supermodel, did the shoot from half ice puck thing through the little slots, and she drilled it on the 3rd try. This arena was a zoo. It was a who's who in the world of just entertainment. And they win on a breakaway goal in overtime from the man who's the greatest American player ever and led them to 3 Stanley Cups. And then he screamed "Showtime," waving his hands at the fans. And there was octopuses on the ice in Chicago.
There was puss. There was puss in Chicago.
Road puss.
There was road puss in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just me rambling about how awesome it was, but
I think you really said it well. You did. Got me jazzed up.
I was watching the movie Don't Worry, Darling with the laptop off to my right at the lowest volume to check in on it, and I was like, 2-1. Unfortunately, my bet's going to hit. Sucks. At least I'm making money. They score late with 4 minutes left.
From an impossible angle.
That's why, yes, a crazy goal. And then I'm glad you explained it to me, and then I saw the full replay. I thought Kane won on a shootout winner. I was like, how the was he that open?
I think he subbed in late when he thought we had possession of it, so somebody came on, so he kind of just floated out near mid-ice. Lucky bounce, pass ahead, it's 3-on-3 hockey. Let it rip.
So the camera was shaking for a road game because I think Chicago's they're tanking, so they weren't that mad about it.
They were cheering for Kane to score. They wanted Kane to score.
That's pretty awesome. Sick. Wow, just a magical night.
And like I was watching the Blues game, like fully invested, like skipping college basketball, and we put on a freaking clinic in the first period against the Blues. Blues wanted nothing a part of that Red Wing atmosphere. Too early for them.
Evan, how are you tuning in?
The Blues game was on TV. The Eller game, the Blackhawks game was on the NHL Network. And then some other games have been on recently, but I can't get it. I can't get every game.
I'm happy to report Valley's been downloaded on my Apple TV. We're all the way back.
Like Saturday at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be invested into.
Baseball.
I'm going to be invested into the Red Wings game for the Panthers.
That's Saturday, 8 o'clock.
Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Ooh.
Saturday afternoon, ABC.
I was going to say, are you going to watch the Michigan State game at 7 o'clock?
Well, it's at 8 o'clock on Fox, Alex. You just don't know. 7 o'clock your time, yes, I'll give you that. 8 o'clock our time. 3 o'clock, Red Wings, my time. 2 o'clock your time. It's 5 hours. The game's going to be well over with. You can have dinner in between.
I just said, Art, I was just wondering if you were just going to watch in general. Nothing to do with time. Just didn't know if you were still invested.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll probably turn it off at halftime and go to bed. Maybe take a gummy. Enjoy the night. I'll take a gummy before the game to enjoy it.
That might help. Might win.
It might.
Or at least you'll think we won.
Yes. I'll start giggling at halftime when we turn the ball over.
Oh, we're up 30. No, I mean, down 30.
That's the time, idiot.
The simplest thing I can say about this team from watching the last few games, not full games, bits and pieces. Again, you have to give me some grace, guys. I really turn up only for the playoffs. But what I'm finding again is that I really don't know all the X's and O's, the strategy of what I'm really looking at in a hockey game. But the players on offense of Kane, DeBrincat, and Larkin are exciting enough that I just kind of get perked up when it's on their when the puck is on their stick. I'm like, ooh, what is Patrick Kane going to do next from just a pure entertainment standpoint? Don't need to know anything about the strategy and whatnot, but that is enough for me to start watching games. And it feels good to be back to that point.
It does. It feels great.
Haven't felt that way since Datsuk, if I'm being totally honest with everyone.
The match
player where I was like, ooh.
That Kane moment just got a bunch of thousands and thousands of fans invested back into the Red Wings.
Yes.
Like, you're a criminal if you don't you say you're a sports fan, Detroit sports fan. If you're not invested in the Red Wings now, you might as well just take away your fandom.
Especially when we all have nothing else to root for.
Correct. There's nothing really going on right now. You are in a playoff push for the first time since we lost a streak in 16, somewhere around 16, 17.
Should we go to Colorado on March 6th to throw some road puss?
I'm always down to throw some road puss.
If you're serious, we should.
No. Does this get you jazzed though? 9:30 p.m. puck drop. That sucks for us. TNT Wednesday night versus the Avalanche. That seems like a big
Wednesday.
deal.
Yeah, Alex, it's worth it.
Seems like a big deal.
Well, I mean, it's only 8:30 my time, so I'll be watching.
Right.
It's rivalry night.
Right.
Hockey games go fast.
Wow.
The Avs.
To your question, Evan, we should be buyers. I want us to buy all the good players to go for the cup. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that why would we be buyers?
Why wouldn't we? Why would not?
Because you play the slow game where we can't rush into excitement based off of one season when we need to do it like the smart long way instead of rushing in with like capital.
Like so Evan has his head on his shoulders about Stevie, but when Brad didn't go trade for Chase Young, he gets upset.
Hockey and football are totally different. There's no there's zero farm systems in NFL, FYI.
There is one. His name's James Houston.
That's not a farm system. That's a lack of talent that should not even be on the roster anymore.
What was the Lions roster move today? Speaking of.
Jared Reeves-Maybin
signed Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
Oh, that's not a move.
All-Pro?
Pro? Captain?
Special teamer.
Where do you all-pro in?
Filled in when what's-his name got hurt.
Evan, who's the Chase Young of the NHL? Player comp.
The player comp?
Let's get Sidney Crosby. How do we
can't get him? We can't get Sidney Crosby. There's a couple people.
Gensel, is he the Chase Young? Is Gensel the Chase Young? Like, attitude problems, but good?
I mean, both of the guys that I have listed are way better.
Stupid.
Gensel would be... Oh, my God. This is ruining my... I hate you, Alex.
Would he get a sack in the Super Bowl? Could Gensel get that done?
Gensel's playoff production is like unheard of, and he has like the most points as a rookie. That was probably 8 years ago. But he is like energy, offensive. He would fit the system so well. Just experience in the playoffs, and he is a fan favorite in Pittsburgh. I think just the production would be set alone for playoffs for him. As somebody you can put on a line with like a couple of younger guys and he can lead them through it, or you put him on one of the top lines because you know you're going to get production out of them no matter what.
I'm reading that we're going to be quiet. We're not going to do anything.
Pittsburgh's fallen just because late, and they have until like the deadline to decide what to do with Gensel because he's on long-term IR and he's eligible to come back on March 10th. Now he will come back on March 10th. So they have to make a decision if they want to get rid of him or hold on to him for the rest of the year.
Also, I could be wrong. It feels like the NHL's trade deadline is so much later in their season than any other sport.
Yeah, I think they want. I think
we're about to the playoffs. I thought it was long done by now.
I think they want to benefit the championship teams. March 8th. I was like, yes, we still have a whole nother week of it too.
Is Simon Edvinsson our James Houston?
He's better than James Houston. You just have to put him on the right production line.
He's had 8 sack season in the show. Like what? I feel like I haven't heard of this kid in the NHL that much.
Well, Simon Edvinsson will show up more than just 3 games where he gets all the sacks.
Okay, that's good for the Red Wings.
It's just a matter of experience and then the time crunch. Yes, we do have a little lackluster on defensively at times, and whoever's with Seider will succeed. But do you trust that young of a kid to do it down the playoffs? I think he's going to get called up, playoff expansion, rosters. You never know. Injuries could happen at any moment. So I feel like he could get brought up. And our farm system is actually one of the tops in the NHL. So that's kind of why we don't want to move on with them, or we just trust what we have right now.
Could Alex succeed next to Mo Seider? You made a comment there that you think anyone could succeed next to him.
There'd be a very good chance that Alex could. I 100% agree that like, if Alex played with Nicholas Lindstrom, that he could succeed. Mo Seider's a little bit of a stretch, but Seider topping our team on defense in minutes. He plays all the time. I don't have to play
offense, right? I can just sit back and wait for the puck to come towards me on defense.
Well, you got to get onto the blue line. You got to send it back in a little bit. You know, the puck always moves.
Yeah. I got good stick skills.
Dump and chase.
I'll be fine. Got to work out my skating. Yeah, I have to work on my backwards skating. I can go forward, no problem. I know Evan cannot skate backwards.
Oh, God, no.